If you smoke, you can't smell like smoke going up to the door.
Breath.
Breath mints or whatever's good. Getting your teeth fixed, which I'm going to.
I don't have a fever.
What's that?
Don't have a fever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't go with your eyes off.
Yeah.
Don't go hungover.
Yeah. Don't go high. Yeah. Don't go high. But you know what good hygiene means.
Write that down a minute.
You know, deodorant, don't smell like smoke, you know, fresh breath, that type of stuff. Okay, clean clothes. Get on a first name basis, ASAP, with your consumer. Why?
Because you're more comfortable. People are more comfortable with first
More
names.
personable and it's more friendly. And that's the object. See, what you're doing actually when you go out there, you're not selling them no more. You're just going to show it to them. What are you selling? Yourself. Okay, you got to sell yourself, which means you got to get on a friendly level as quick as possible. Okay? Because you could go through the demo and they fall in love with it, but if they didn't fall in love with you, they ain't gonna buy it because of that, not because of the product.
If you creep them out or whatever. Yeah.
Right. See, so we want to be on that friendly first name basis. Okay. Good eye contact. Why?
Because if you don't look someone in the eye, it seems shady.
You're not trustworthy. So when you
Seems like you're hiding.
exactly, and you'll notice when I talk to you guys, where do I look?
Right at us.
Right. And that's because this became my everyday life. This right here. Okay, and it's actually changed my life. Always wear a smile.
That's hard to do.
You're doing it right now.
Because I'm just laughing. That's hard to do, though.
You know, on the way to an appointment, I always play, like, I find something really cool on the radio, or I'll play it on my phone, something that just puts me in, like, the best spirits
gets
ever.
you motivated, gets you in a good mood, right? Okay, and a lot of this stuff right here, I'm telling you, I have a good friend up in Ohio, and he is a motivational speaker. Okay, he was actually a school teacher when I went to school. He was my baseball coach and stuff, but that's what he does now. And it's a true fact. You know, you go into the grocery stores, and if the lines are long, what's everybody doing?
Oh, crap.
One person can be complaining, the next thing you know, the person behind them starts complaining, and it just spreads like wildfire, right? Okay.
Or everyone's fighting each other to the open lines.
Whereas if you say something to turn it into a positive, it'll change them. It'll change their mood.
98% of them.
People are followers.
Okay? You know, so too many times, that's the society we live in, those a negative society. People aren't used to the positive, but that's what we have to develop. Okay? But now when it comes to selling, so this is just norm. You should be doing that all the time up here. Okay? Even dressing sharp makes yourself feel better when you look at yourself in the mirror. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay? But this is what you have to implement into your demo along with that stuff. You've got to get used to asking the customer questions. Examples would be, you know, let me ask you a question, Jan. Okay, so you're going to pick on the person that you want to talk to. Okay, and the one I want to talk to is the one that's usually not paying attention. So let me ask you a question, Ashley.
I'm ready, I think.
See how she stopped and looked right up at me, though? That's the point I'm trying to make, right? See, so not that you weren't paying attention, but see, I got you to look at me. Just from that phrase. Okay. Now you have to learn the questions that you need to ask. Okay? So never ask a question where the answer is yes or no. That's called open-ended. I mean, they can shut the door on you. You have to learn to ask a question where you give them a choice of answers. Hence, the example would be, let me ask you a question, Jan. When you get your rainbow, are you going to use it to clean air or aromatize air?
Both.
See, but I get an answer. Okay? That's the forms of questions that you want to develop in your demo. And of course, I would follow it up both, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay, and then what I did there is I finished it with tie downs and the head nods. Okay, you know what a tie down is actually?
When you're like both, wouldn't you?
Pardon?
When you're like both, wouldn't you? When you said both, wouldn't you?
The wouldn't you. Those are tie downs. It's reconfirming an answer. You would, wouldn't you? You could, couldn't you? You should, shouldn't you? You did, didn't you? You can, can't you? You will, won't you?
You're gonna wanna know.
Those are types of tie downs. See, like, let me ask you a question, actually. When do you want to get rid of the filth from your home? Yesterday, today, or tomorrow? I mean, you never wanted it here to begin with, did you? What'd you just do?
Head nod.
You followed me. She went. See, so a lot of times I'll answer the question for them, and they'll follow the lead. Okay, that's the power of selling right there. Giving them the answers to choose from, answering it for them with a head nod, and they'll follow right with you and just tie it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? These are things that you have to work on. I don't know if you ever saw it, Jennifer, where I can get somebody to pick one deck out of a deck of cards every time.
You did it to me. Whenever I was in my first week of training, you did it, and you had me do it. And, yeah, the card, there's no, I had no way. He explained it later, but he got us to pick a specific card, and it's the one he was holding out.
Okay? And it's just doing this. Okay? And that's things that you got to practice on, and practice and practice and practice. That's what makes you good. Who does it? Who do you think I learned that from? Do you know, Jen?
Lyle?
Nope.
That speaker in Ohio?
Nope.
From that book that you were reading.
Tom Hopkins,
There you go.
How to Master the Art of Selling. If you want to get rich, selling is the highest paid job in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's people that sell that make more money than the President of the United States.
We can, if we get good at it.
A lot of people in Rainbow that do.
Look at, what is her name, Billy Joe?
The President of the United States makes about $450,000 a year. I know distributors that make that a month.
Billy Joe sold 17 in a month, and she only went to 19 shows. Is that her name, Billy Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you have to realize you take,
$450,000 a month.
Easily, if you have enough people under you.
right.
Oh, okay, I was like,
Not just
you're
us.
making 500.
Not just us, Bob. Like
Distributor
Ron and
A lot
Bob.
of shows, okay.
Distributor levels. Okay, but how do they get to a distributor level?
By being a selling.
Being in the trenches.
Mastering selling, mastering hiring. See, recruiting is nothing more than selling. Recruiting, selling opportunity.
Because if you recruit somebody and you don't train them properly, they're obviously not going to do any good.
Right. Okay, actually,
Yeah,
let me ask you a question.
okay,
In a deck of cards, there's two colors. There's red and there's black. Which is your favorite?
right.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
So let's talk about the red ones. The red cards, there's two different suits. There's hearts and there's diamonds. Out of the two, which is your favorite?
Heart.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what suits that leave left?
Diamond.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So let's talk about diamonds. You have the numbered diamonds and you have the face diamonds. Which diamonds would you choose, numbered or face?
Wait, what?
Diamond.
Face.
There's two kinds. There's numbered diamonds, such as 2 through 10, and then there's the face diamond.
Oh, face.
Face, you would win. So what groups that leave left?
The number?
It does, doesn't it? So let's talk about the numbered diamonds. Let's break that into two groups. You got 2 through 5 as one group, and you got 6 through 10 as the other group. Out of the two groups, which would you pick? 2 through 5 of diamonds or 6 through 10 of diamonds?
2 through 5.
You would, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to break that into two groups. You've got the 2 and the 3, and then you got the 4 and the 5. Out of those two groups, what would you pick? 2, 3, or 4 and 5?
4 and 5.
You would, wouldn't you? So what groups that leave left?
2 and 3.
It does, doesn't it? So let's talk about it. Split that up, you got the 2 of diamonds and the 3 of diamonds. Which one would you choose? You would, wouldn't you?
Makes sense to me, I get how you did it.
I see
You have to direct the conversation.
It's just controlling the conversation, right? There's no wrong answer if you, see now, if I would have come out and said, okay, there's 2 colors, there's red and black, I bet black's your favorite color, isn't it?
No.
Where can I go? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
See, so you can never ask it where it's yes or no. Every time I did those last 4 things, would you agree?
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's what selling is. Okay? So, let's apply that to the mini-vac, and that's why I kind of did some things on the board to help us get started with that. There are certain questions at certain times in the mini-vac that you have to ask, okay? And the reason being, Jan, if closing is your toughest thing to do, which it always is with new people, it's the easiest for me, because I start right here at closing. And you'll see how I do that when I go through this. Okay? Actually, I started a lot earlier than that, but this is the true master closing starting right now. Other stuff's all trial closing. Like when you get your rainbow, what are you going to use it for the most? Cleaning the air, aroma type air. See, that's trial closes.
Okay.
Transfer of ownership type of stuff. Making it visualize using it, right? But now I'm going to get into where I'm going to narrow it down to they're going to want the rainbow and they're going to want it today. And there's nothing they can say to change it. Because they're going to say it. If you want somebody to believe something and follow something, you got to get them to say it. And that's what these things do.
Okay.
Okay? So when we go from the mini-vac, or from the vac kill to the mini-vac, okay, I know a lot of you don't do this with the vac kill, which is work on but the last thing you should do on your vac kill is the next part is going to be the claws, right? When you take the claws out of the baggie, for the next part, you've got to use the baggie at the vac kill. Do you know how to use it at the vac kill? Do you actually?
Yeah. You take all that dirt from the, filter, and you put it in the bag, and then, when they say once you have dirt in their house, it's gone yesterday, today, tomorrow.
You're close. Okay, you're close. You're kind of mixing the two, but you're close. But the last thing is the vac kill, after it blew the dust and all that good stuff, there's one last thing. Okay, the company always wants me to take a sample of the fill back so we can analyze it. Do you mind if I take some of your out of your vacuum, say? And what do they say?
No, go ahead.
Take it all, because you don't want to do it. Right? See, there's another way of them telling me what they don't want the dirt or not. Okay? So I will take some of the stuff out of their vacuum cleaner and I'll put it in the Ziploc bag. Okay, so you got to kind of visualize that. And then I'll seal it up. And here's what I'll do. Okay, now this doesn't have anything in it, but what I would do, Jan, is I'd say, and I kind of toss it to you like this. I'd say, go ahead and take that and put it in your closet, would you?
No.
You wouldn't? Would you put it on top of TV and think of Ron, that crazy rainbow guy, every time you was watching TV?
It's not it's their problem.
But would you put it there?
No.
What would you do with it right now?
So let me try.
You would leave it. Well, let me ask you a question. How much can we have in that bag? No. Just how many holes is in that bag?
None.
None. Where do you store your vacuum cleaner at?
In the closet.
Moving to the top, correct?
Maybe when you're not using it.
Right, but I mean, when you get done, you just put it back in, right? How many holes is in it?
Several.
Millions. So, if I did put a hole in this, now you notice what I'm getting them to think about? They wouldn't put this in their closet, but they would in their vacuum, but yet this is safer. See the concept?
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a hole in here, which I'll take and I'll tear a hole in the corner of it, and I had it pointed right at you, Jan. I'm gonna take a deep breath and blow into this. You ready? On the count
No.
of three. I wouldn't do that, because if I did, you'd be what? Mad. Your husband would be up, have the shotgun after me, right? I'd be out the front door. But see, that's me blowing into a bag with one hole. How many holes does this blow out of every time you turn it on? Millions? Who should your husband get the shotgun after? Me in this bag, or that in those holes?
It's not because he got the vacuum cleaner.
The point is who should they throw out?
The vacuum.
And then I tell them, go ahead. All it does is it puts a visual in there where something as silly as this bag, which, because you can see through it, but it's sealed, so it's safer, it gets them to visualize, you know what, you're right, that should go, not this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I do that every demo. That will help you close. Especially when they get up and they throw the vacuum out. They take it outside or they put it in the garage. They get it out of the house. Because that tells you that you did what?
Your job, first of all.
You truly killed the vacuum. See, a lot of times when we go out there, people think they're killing it, but yet they're still putting it back in their closet. So did we really kill it? Not if they put it back in their closet. What we did is we smacked it around a little bit, but we didn't kill it. See, we got to kill it, kill it. That's why it's called vac kill, not vac smack. Right?
Yes.
You got to kill it. Okay? And there's nothing more enjoyable for me than to see that guy get up and take the vac out. Because I'm smiling inside, I already know they're going to buy the rainbow now. Because what are they in the market for?
A new cleaning system.
So I politely put them in the market, didn't I? Because how many times have you been on a demo and they said, well, we're not really in the market. When ours quits working, we'll call you. Ours works still good right now. See, that's not a kill then, is it?
Mm-mm.
That was just a little smack. Okay, see, so I'm there to kill that concept because it puts them in the market and there's only one machine that they can buy that can fix all those problems. Which is, yeah, if they go to Walmart and buy another bagless,
Same problem.
we only smacked the vac around, we didn't kill the concept of vacuum, correct? Okay, but so that's the last thing I'll do at the vac kill, which allows me to go to the mini vac. Because how I go to the mini vac is when he comes back in or she comes back in, I say, now Jen, that you're in the market for a vacuum cleaner, that's the first words out of my mouth. Now that you're in the market for a vacuum cleaner, when you go shopping for one, for power, what one word comes to mind that they have to have a lot of? Jan, would you say suction?
Yes.
I mean, it is, isn't it? Okay, see how I set it up now that you're in the market, now if you go shopping for one, what one word comes to mind for power? It has to have a lot of, would you say suction?
Yes.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See the keys to the board again here? It's all incorporated right in there. Okay, so that's where now you're going to reach into your box and you're going to pull out your hose. Now, you might hear something like this. See, honey, I told you it was a vacuum cleaner. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want them to think that?
Mm-mm.
No. So how do I stop that right away, actually?
Yeah, so if I connect this hose to your air purification system, would it make it a vacuum cleaner?
Right. For example, hey, if we hook the hose up to the box, would the box be a vacuum?
If I added it to your TV, does that make your TV a vacuum?
Right. See, so just because it plugs into the air cleaner does not mean it's a vacuum, does it? See, that's still an air purification system. We're just plugging the hose in to expand its cleaning ability. Okay? See, so you got to get them not thinking vacuum, because $2,389 is way too much money for a vacuum cleaner.
For just a vacuum cleaner.
Exactly. See, so I got to get that theory going. So you plug it in. Okay. We turn it on. Okay? Now, here's what you gotta do. You gotta get them to participate, hands-on. The more they touch it, the more they like it. That's why car salesmen, get in it. Sit it. Drive it, right? Okay? Same here. So, I say, hey, Dan, go ahead and feel that. Would you say we have a lot of suction? Actually, a lot of suction. Would you agree? Okay. All right, I don't have white claws. Shoot, I need 2 white claws. Now, people ask,
Short
how
claws.
many white claws do you use? I use 2 on a demo, and that's it. And they're the lumps. That's the only time I use them.
Don't you need one for them to check the cleaning abilities?
You can use black for that.
Oh.
Okay, so 2's really all all I would use on a demo is of white. But how I do that is I do this. Okay, but we have lots of suction, correct? Right, this is a piece of dirt. Really what it does is it represents a vacuum cleaner bag. It has over 5,000 volts per square inch. You want to verify that for me?
No, I trust you.
Okay, so it's just represents a vacuum cleaner bag, but in this case we're going to call it a piece of dirt. We're going to shove it right here at the end of the hose. Now do me a favor actually. Take my hose in one hand. Put your other hand nice and tight over the end of my hose. Don't let go. Did you catch that?
Mhm.
Yeah. You're not funny.
You're smiling. I turn this on. You feel all that suction pulling at your hand.
Yeah.
Do not let go. But with all that suction, Jan, where should that white brake go?
It should go in there.
Shouldn't it? All right. So what we want to do actually is I want you to go ahead and take a look.
I've never actually done that.
You don't have to take your hand by pushing on it. But see what it does is it just leaves a ring. But with all that suction, how far did that move?
Not really far enough?
So how much cleaning does suction do?
None.
None. See, the definition of suction is absence of air. Okay? So when we turn this on, they don't tell us about this noise. You hear that? Stick your finger in there. What do you feel? No, you don't. You feel all that air moving around your finger, right? See, that's called airflow. See, if this is our piece of dirt, we add suction, where's the dirt gone? Nowhere. But look what happens as soon as you give it air. What happens to it? It happens so fast, let's go to you again. Okay? Again, with suction, where's it going to go? Nowhere. Okay, but with airflow, you don't even have to touch it, just pass by it, what happens to it? It's gone. Correct? So now, actually, when you go shopping for your new vacuum, what you got to look for? Is it the suction or the airflow? The ownership. See, that's what we want to talk about, is suction, airflow, and of course the ultimate goal is the ability to clean. Would you agree? Okay? So we're going to make a miniature vacuum using the rainbow, okay? And we do that by, we start out with, we know a vacuum cleaner has bags and filters, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the first thing that we have to have. So I'm going to put on a bag, okay, and then I'm going to put another one right behind it, Jennifer. Now, you know what the second one's for?
I always say it represents what's going through your nose.
When you're vacuuming, where do you stand? Right behind it, correct? So this is going to represent the air you're breathing while you're vacuuming,
Okay.
behind your filter, okay? And we're going to put that right there. And then I put this on. It gives us the second part, which is an intake of a vacuum, okay? This is our bag. We know the bag's also the exhaust, okay, and the motor is going to be provided by the rainbow. But we're going to take it a step further. What's behind your nose?
Your lungs.
They are, aren't they? Okay, and are your lungs wet or dry? Wet. So I just happen to have a couple wet ones right here.
Do people usually know that?
Yeah.
Their lungs are wet
Mm-hmm.
in their body? I never knew that. No one I've asked has known it on demos.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to show them. It's just a wet white rag representing a bag type lung or a filter type lung. Now, how many lungs does your body have? Hopefully you still got both of them correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put a second lung on, and this is what we're gonna call the rainbow lung. Okay, it's the lung after water. We're gonna put it right back here where the air blows out of the rainbow. Hey Jen, would you step in that closet and get a harmonica? Please.
Yes.
Okay, now this is where it's important. When we show this, first we're going to show that it has suction. Then we're going to show that it has airflow. And then we're going to show the cleaning ability. Okay? So, how I set that up is, again, customer participation. Okay? We'll get this out, and of course we know this is a harmonica. First to make sound, what has to pass through it?
Air.
It does, doesn't it? So do me a favor, would you hold it? And that's going to monitor how much air we're moving. Okay? I want you to hold this like a dead mouse by its tail, but do not let go. This is going to show us the cleaning ability of the system. Okay? So you hold on to that. So that when we turn this on, we get a brand new filter in here. Okay? Which then, would you say, we have plenty of suction? Plenty of suction. How's my airflow? Pretty good. So how's my cleaning ability? Good. Now what I'll do if they have a upholstered couch is I'll clean right between them on the couch. I'll still go right between them. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So in this case, I'm going to hit the chair. Okay? And as soon as I hit it, now we got to reverse it after we do it. How's my cleaning ability? Not as good. How's my airflow? You break that? You break it?
And that's even backwards. You can flip it the other way.
It doesn't matter. Either way.
No. But,
Right? But how's my suction? All right. Now, the question I want to ask is we lost cleaning ability after just a matter of 5 seconds. Okay? Did we lose the cleaning ability because we lost suction or because we lost the airflow?
airflow.
We did, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, and is it because our bag's full?
Yes.
Let's take a look. It's not really full. What happened was the holes clogged up. But before they clogged up, this is what escaped back out in the air for you and your family to breathe. Okay? So in this case, what are we going to have to do if we want to continue to clean?
Continue changing that.
We're going to have to change the filter of the bag. And what filters or bags usually cost you? Then we get this cost factor in it, right?
Because they'll lie to you at the end.
Okay?
Because they know what you're doing.
Those vacuums today have 3 filters. Cheapest ones are $20 a piece, you know. So we're looking at about $60 every time.
Now, I have a question for you, Ron.
Yeah.
That's happened to me, and I tried to just handle it. But what happens if you suck up so much dirt out of their carpet that you lose suction too? Like,
That's why you got to listen to the machine.
yeah, I mean, like, first touch, I went, and it would barely stick to my arm. What do you do then?
You kind of
Okay.
let them see the mark there.
Okay.
But see, this is why I like upholstered furniture, because this is exactly how it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about if they have like the water filters? Like you just have to clean them out with water, so that it doesn't cost them to replace.
Oh, absolutely, and I definitely can understand that, so let me ask you a question. How soon are you going to have to clean that filter? After about 5 minutes, correct? Because for every second it takes to clog up here is equal to a minute with your vacuum. So every 5 to 10 minutes you're going to have to clean your filters, correct? Okay, now let me ask you a question. Did you buy your vacuum to spend more time cleaning the filters than your home?
No.
I mean, you didn't, did you?
No, I like that, okay.
And what's your time worth to you?
Those filters have to air dry for 48 hours before you can.
Right, you can't reuse them wet, and you can't, and when you let them air dry, I mean, they mold, they get musty, right?
And they hold germs.
Okay? So that's how you would handle that if, well, my filters are washable. Yeah, but how soon are you going to have to wash it? After 5 to 10